Yeah, here we are talking about the people in Europe are of one extreme opposite from our leadership in this country. Which is the right way of handling all of this? Who is right? Who is wrong? Is that what it is? I'm being too Bobby in Los Angeles, the world's greatest talk show caller. Am I being too tough? Is that what you're saying on Obama? I'm just pointing out it's diametrically the opposite of these other leaders. That's all.
Now,
do you agree?
Hold on. No, listen. Listen. When we do introductions, you're nice enough to introduce me as the greatest caller in the history of talk radio, which I am.
Yeah.
So speaking of introductions, when I heard your program in the beginning, I don't think you did this, but I want to make sure, when you started your program today, did you do anything like live from the isolated island in the underground bunker on the planet no one knows about? We're trying to take back our country. Did you do something like that this morning?
No. I got up, had a piece of toast, cup of coffee, I don't know, orange juice, what?
So what's with this right-wing wacko BS this today? I mean,
what do you mean right-wing? Nothing. I'm just pointing. I'm playing the comments of Jay Johnson and Barack Obama and John Kerry, and I'm pointing out what Hollande is doing and what he is saying and what Cameron is saying and what all these other.
But you're not being fair.
I am being fair. I'm pointing. I'm sorry it does. I'm sorry that it's so dramatically different between them and us. But I'm being fair.
Hold on. Like you mentioned how Obama mentioned, he referred to ISIS as killers, and he said how they're good at social media. Now, I'm curious. He called them killers, and he has this thing with sending drones around certain parts of the world where I'm sure innocent people have sadly died. He's kept Guantanamo Bay open.
Not because he wanted to.
But it's open. So when you give this picture, and he's still fighting the war on terror, whether you agree or not, fine. But he's still doing it. I was against the Iraq War. He kept that going for a while. When this guy is showing that, hey, I'm sending people in the world, innocent people who don't deserve to die are probably dying. He knows that, I'm sure. And he's not like saying, let's give up and let's just roll it in. Don't you think it's a little misleading when you make it seem like Obama is not really...
No, because the difference in the tone and the words is dramatic between what he is saying and what the other world leaders are saying. It is tremendously different.
Okay, so let me ask you, when you bring up that point, fine, then you have to ask the next question, why do you think he's doing that?
Well, I don't know. And that's why I asked a similar question of which one do you think is right?
Okay, so you and I don't work for the government. We're not part of the army. We're not part of the intelligence. So is it possible? Go over the possibilities. Maybe he's a moron. I guess that's possible. Maybe he doesn't think it's a big deal. Well, I guess that's possible. Maybe he doesn't want to make things worse. Maybe he's trying to keep things down, and he knows things that we don't know.
This is, Bobby, this is why you are the greatest talk show caller in the history of the world, is because I can't figure him out, and we've known the man for 7-8 years now, and I still, I cannot figure out why he's doing what he's doing. And maybe he even says, I mean, I do make fun of him on this because he comes out when Obamacare and all this stuff. He goes, well, the reason it's not doing all that well is because we need to explain it better. Maybe that's his problem.
Look, but here's the thing. I'm not saying that no one can criticize Obama for not being tough. If someone is being fair-minded, and I think you're a fair person, and they genuinely think Obama's not being tough, that's fine. But when you acknowledge that he said, hey, they're killers, and again, I gave the examples of what he's doing in the war on terror, he's still doing something there, and innocent people are dying, I think it's misleading to make it seem like he's weak, especially when I asked you, why do you think he's doing it? Your answer is, I don't know. And one more thing, just one more thing.
Okay.
When Bush was in power,
yes,
do you remember how many people on the right kept saying, don't question your president during wartime? I can't believe people are questioning the president. Do you know better than the president? Why is that logic not being applied with Obama?
All right. Hold on. Don't go away. Let me switch to... I can do the Republican who's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, but let's go to cut 7, Dianne Feinstein, a big-time Democrat from California, your state, your senator, and she is the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee, and this is what she says.
I can say this, Director Comey, and I think John Brennan would agree that the Achilles heel in the Internet is encryption, because there are now, it's a black web, and there's no way of piercing it. And this even in commercial products. PlayStation, John, which our kids use, if the two ends communicate, that's encrypted.
No, that's not the one I wanted. Hold on, Bobby. Here's Dianne Feinstein, her opinion about all of this.
This has gone on too long now, and it has not gotten better. It's gotten worse. I think we need a specific, larger special operations plan. A group of 50 is fine for what they're doing so far, but it's not going to solve the problem. And I think getting at the government in Raqqa in a way that one is not only able to get at the government, but change it, move ISIL out, that's where the head of the snake, so to speak, has to be cut off. That's Raqqa, but it's in many other places too.
And so there you got the gist, Bobby. Is she's saying it's getting worse, and every general, every CIA guy, everybody that really is an expert in this area is saying it's getting worse. It's not getting better, and so that's why I say and the 4 reporters last Friday in Turkey that were stood up and said, "Are you sure your plan's working, Mr. President?"
Okay, fair enough. And I said earlier, I don't mind if someone who's fair-minded is genuinely criticizing Obama, because I don't work for intelligence, I don't work for the army, I don't work for the government, I don't know the details, so I'm open-minded if someone has a genuine point. But a person like you, who I think is pretty fair, when you bring these things up, which is, I think, kind of misleading, whether you agree or not, fine, you have to ask yourself immediately after that the next 2 questions. Why do you think Obama is doing what you think is not correct? And what is the solution? And I mean, you said you don't. For the first question, you said I don't know. So if you don't know why he's doing it, then what is the solution? I'm curious what to the second question.
Well, he's the guy in charge. So the solution is that he either changes to something that I think makes more sense, that Dianne Feinstein thinks it makes more sense. What you're doing doesn't work. Change it, and he will not. It's the thing about, you can't plan a war because war plans itself. And so far, the president has been asked, will you change? Why are you staying with this? And he's going, I have the right. He said, I could drag out the tape, but he basically said, we need to find the right plan, and my plan is the right plan. So he's absolutely sure of what he's doing. Now, listen, the point I'm coming up with here, and I got to get some other callers in here. But all I'm saying is you got 4 world leaders going, we need to do more military, more going after them, more aggressive. And the president saying, don't worry about them. They're not that big of a deal. Got a gang in South Central, Bobby, is that they're killers and they're social media. They're pretty good at social media.
Can I say one last thing, because the time is running out here? I know time is running out here. He did say they're killers. Just let's not ignore that.
Yeah, but
on a final note, let's end on a good note. On a good note, Thanksgiving is coming up. Everyone, please don't kill the turkeys. Try to go vegetarian. That's the end.
Yeah, we disagree there. See, Bobby, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Paul in Sacramento. Paul, welcome. Hi, you're on the Tom Sullivan Show.
Hey, how you doing?
I think I'm doing okay. I'm getting all these emails saying I'm off on some right-wing propaganda today, and I'm going, no, I'm pointing out the world is saying one thing and we're saying something different. Who's right? Who do you think's right?
I think you're falling into the rhetoric. Look, there is no easy solution to Raqqa.